Music
Sorry, I
was-
missed it. I was coming up until about 2 hours before the
I
thing.
call to order this meeting of the Washington County Board of Education. We have all members present and our student representatives, so we do have a quorum. It's my pleasure to introduce at this time Timmy Reinhardt. Timmy is a fourth grade student at Pangbourne Elementary, and Timmy will be leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Hello, Timmy.
Hi.
Do you have some folks with you this evening you
Yes.
would like to introduce?
Yeah. I have my dad, my mom, my little brother, my older brother, my sister, and my principal.
And your principal?
Mm-hmm.
Welcome, folks. Thank you for being here in support of Timmy. So, Timmy, you're in fourth grade at Pangbourne.
Yeah.
Are you having a good year?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite subject?
I like all of them.
Oh, that. Yeah, nothing like a well-rounded student. So you like them all. And in your free time, when you're not at Pangbourne, what do you like to do?
I like to spend time with my older brother Ben. We play basketball in the backyard. And I don't know what else.
Don't know what else. It's good that you have a good relationship with your older brother. It's great. And you've got a little one there?
Mhm.
Yeah. Colleagues, do you have anything that you'd like to ask Timmy?
Who's the better basketball player?
Oh, Ben.
Oh, wow. And I asked, because I know Stan likes soccer, said you're not a soccer fan, but you are a baseball fan, right? Who's your
Yeah.
favorite baseball player?
Manny Machado.
There you go.
Oh.
See? I was thinking of you, Stan.
Is there anything that you would like to ask us, Timmy? No? Okay. Well, we thank you
Thank you.
again for being here and leading us in the pledge in the moment of silence. And I hope you have a great rest of this year and a wonderful summer.
Thank you.
All righty. Thank you. This time I'll entertain a motion for approval of the agenda for this evening. Thank you, Mr. Stauffer. Is there a second? Second. Thank you, Mrs. Fisher. Any discussion of the agenda? All those in favor of approval of tonight's agenda? Okay, we're unanimous, and the student member concurs. Motion carries. And we'll move on then for approval of the minutes.
Madam President, I move for the approval of the closed session minutes dated Tuesday, February 4th, 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Gesford. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Bickford. Any additions or corrections to the closed session minutes? All those in favor of approval? Okay, we have 7 affirmative votes.
Madam President, I move for the motion of the approval of the business meeting minutes dated Tuesday, February 4th, 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Gesford. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Murray. Any additions or corrections to the business meeting minutes? No? All those in favor? Okay, we have 7 affirmative votes, and the student member concurs, so we have approval of our minutes. Is that it, Mr. Gesford?
That is all.
Thank you so much. At this time, we'll have Dr. Michael's report.
Thank you, President Williams. We have 3 presentations this evening we want to share. I'm actually doing them in reverse order. I'll announce what we're going to do last first. Jenny Burkhart's with us tonight. She's going to share, introduce our most recent National Board Certified teachers. Cody Pine's with us. It's Career and Technology Education Month. We have Skills USA, Future Business Leaders of America, and Future Farmers of America representatives with us tonight, and we want to recognize them. And we're going to begin with recognition of our finalists for ESP of the year. And to kick that off, we're actually going to have a video that our staff hasn't seen yet, but they obviously participated in. And then Tim Haynes will come up and introduce them, and at that time, I'd invite the board to go down front. So at this point, we're ready to roll our video of our ESP employees.
Each day's different. So I adjust to the day. I just do. If it's bad weather out there, you gotta adjust to that. If it's, if the kids are having a bad day, you adjust to that. You gear, it's just, there's no day the same. And that's what I love about this. My favorite part of my whole job is doing car duty in the morning with getting the students out. That's the best part of the whole day. Some of them will not even attempt to get out until I open the door for them. I got Mr. Brown take me out. And so that's just a highlight of my day, seeing their smiling faces. To me, that is rewarding. Because the bottom line is I'm here for one reason, not just to clean the school, but to make sure that kids have a good environment to learn in, to do my part. We all have a part to play in it. And my part is to make sure the school is safe, that's primary, clean, and throughout the day, that anything they need, I get. I can sum it up basically in 3 words: just show up. That's the biggest part of this day. You've got to be here. If you're not here, someone's got to fill your job, or your job's not getting done.
So as a paraprofessional, I have the task of doing a lot of the behind-the-scenes work. But once the students come in, I work with small groups or one-on-one. And for me, as an additional educator in the classroom, I'm more of intervention. So I tend to work with the students that need that little extra push, extra support, extra encouragement. And that's what I really love, that part of my job, because I can really see the growth and I can really make connections with the students that, for whatever reason, they just need that extra love. I have always loved working with children and teaching. And unfortunately, in my life, I never made it to that teacher position, but that's okay. I love what I do. I have had the opportunity to really learn from all of the teachers that I've worked with. I take bits and pieces, and hopefully everything that I've learned from those various teachers is going to make me a better educator here in the classroom. And that truly is my commitment to WCPS, is to continue learning myself. As an educator, I'm going to continue to learn how to educate the students that walk through our doors.
We approximately do 800 to 900 meals daily. I enjoy working with my teammates and coming in and serving the students on a daily basis. I feel the most fulfilling aspect of my job is being able to serve the students and getting to know them, to serve them a nutritional meal every day that they're here at school. I want people to know that I come to work, I enjoy coming to work every day, and that I love serving the quality food so that the school, the students can focus on their schoolwork all day long. I attended Washington County Schools growing up, and I feel this is my way of giving back to the community for succeeding in this job. I am dedicated. I make sure my staff feel that they are supported and that I feed the students on a daily basis when they're at school. I'm here every day to make sure everything is ready to go, and it goes off without a hitch every day.
I am the counseling registrar at Boonesboro Middle School. I've been here for 18 years. My main job is to enroll and transfer kids as they are transitioning in and out of schools. I get student records together, communicate with other schools to let them know academic levels and things like that. I love the fast-paced environment. Every day is pretty much a different day. When you come in, you could have a plan ready for the day, but as the day goes on, due to staff demands and things that they would like versus kids that are coming in the door, things change every day by the minute. On a daily basis, I do try to, if I don't know an answer to something, I will definitely reach out to colleagues to find out for sure, a definite answer. So I do, on a daily basis, try to learn new things just to make sure that I keep things going in the building and take care of things as people need them.
I find it rewarding when the kids get on the bus, they give you a hug or a special little smile. I enjoy the personal photos that they draw for me, the little cards that they make, the little giggles on the bus. It's so rewarding. And to watch these kids grow as they get older, it's very, very fulfilling. I feel like they're my own kids. Last year, there was 3 students in Indiana that were killed boarding a school bus. As a bus driver and as a mom, I just couldn't stop thinking about it. So I had made these ribbons with some help of my family and handed them out to some friends here. It got on Facebook, and the next thing you know, I had over 750 orders. There is a ribbon in every state, and it's just to remind people that phone call is not that important. That text message is not that important. These children are our future. We have to be mindful of that. I do my very best to transport these children, these students, to and from school in the safest manner possible. I take the job very seriously, as we all do. But again, it's just very important to make sure that they get there safely and get home safely. We're the first face they see in the morning. We kind of help set the tone for the day, and we're the last face they see in the afternoon before going home.
So when Aaron first shared the video with me, the first thing I saw was going to be 6 minutes long. I'm always cautious of our time in the evening, but as I watched the video, I couldn't think of a second that I'd want to cut out. So at this point, I'm going to invite Mr. Haynes forward, and board members, if you get down front, we'll greet our guests here this evening.
Well, the video made my job very easy. Our first finalist from Fountain Rock Elementary, Terry Brown. From Emma K. Dobb, Jenny Duggan. From Clear Spring Middle, Marcia McNeil. From Boonesboro Middle, Marlene Moore. And our inaugural ESP of the Year winner, Cynthia Lyons.
Don't work that way up here.
See everybody?
Oh, yeah, you're
Don't worry
you're the
about
important
us.
part.
You're the star.
Ready? Anybody else want to get a picture?
You'll get one more.
Congratulations.
February is Career and Technical Education Month, and tonight we are going to celebrate our Career Technical Student Organization members, starting with Skills USA, the Future Business Leaders of America, FBLA, and then the Future Farmers of America, FFA. So we will start with the Skills USA participants from Washington County Technical High School. Braden Crum. Caitlin Dorsey.
Are we giving a certificate to the staff?
One per chapter. One per, yes, one from each school. Justin Rohr. Laura Steidler. Luke Weddle. And advisor, Anita Hickey. Thank you. Get a picture.
Slide over this way. One over. I'm Aaron tonight, so. Yep. All right, see everybody. Thank you. Congratulations.
From the FBLA, from Boonesboro High School, Shakina Kurapati. Elliot Petty. And advisor, Molly Shearer. From Clear Spring High School, Elijah Best. And advisor, Stephen Shawalder.
Back towards the blue one. Congratulations again. Thank you.
From the FFA, from Smithsburg High School, Aaron Rawls. Emily Allnut. Advisor, Lee Ruart. From Boonesboro High School, Olivia DeBall. Elizabeth Anderson. Advisor, Quinn Cashel Martin. Advisor, Elizabeth Comstock. From the Clear Spring FFA, Katie Toms. Tanner Harshman. Advisor, Tom Mazzoni. From Hancock, Taylor Walls. Caleb Walls. and advisor, Jamie Snyder.
Turn a little bit, shoulders down, everybody in there.
Let's switch those two, please. Stand in the back, maybe.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, National Board Certification was designed to develop, retain, and recognize accomplished teachers and to generate ongoing improvement in schools nationwide. It is one of the most respected professional certifications available in K-12 education, and the certification process requires that teachers demonstrate standards-based evidence of the positive effect that they have on student learning. They must exhibit a deep understanding of their students, content knowledge, use of data and assessments, and teaching practice. They must also show that they participate in learning communities and provide evidence of ongoing reflection and continuous learning. These 3 teachers have attained National Board Certification. The first one, Erica Hartley from Eastern Elementary School. She is a lead teacher. Andrea Steck from Western Heights Middle School, math. Danielle Wantz, Rockland Woods Elementary School. And I'd also like to recognize Rebecca Shaw. She is the liaison for Washington County Public Schools and working with National Board Certified Teachers. She has dedicated much time and effort into supporting these teachers to be successful.
Shift that way a little bit. Jerry, that's not how you become a board member. First of all, you gotta do the mayor. All right, you ready? Everybody else?
Thank you so much. Lost our superintendent here.
That's all I have for right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Michael. At this time, we have public comment. We do have one person who has signed up in advance, and that's Mr. Neil Becker. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, President Williams, board members, and Superintendent Michael. I know I don't need the time check. I'm good.
I was looking at your paper going, I don't think he needs a time.
I actually have a lot more to say than just a few minutes will capture, but, so I'll be brief. If you'd like to follow up, give me a call, email, you know how to find me. Tonight, I'll quickly touch on a few topics. We've already hit on a couple of them, our ESPs, CTE, the blueprint legislation, and human resources. First, thank you to all our ESPs, especially tonight's honorees. Our ESPs are essential to the success of our students and our school system. So congratulations to those who were nominated and honored, and I look forward to next year's and every year after that. This has to be an annual endeavor that we recognize our ESP of the year for nominations and then the events that recognize them. Additionally, as we did, this is CTE month, and I wish to join in the recognition of our CTE educators and their students this month. Without CTE, where would we be? Literally, where would we be? We rely on agriculture, agribusiness, and skilled tradespersons every day, and our community is starved for skilled tradespersons. Thank you to all CTE teachers for supporting our students in their endeavors and literally the thousands of hours that go along with being a CTE teacher and advisor of organizations such as what we saw here with Skills USA and FBLA and FFA. When I finish this evening, I'm going to share a copy for each of you of the action line in which Washington County Technical High School students and staff are featured because CTE is an essential element of Kerwin and the association at the state level, at the federal level, and locally. We're paying close attention to CTE. Washington County Technical High School is a gem, not just to our county, but to our state, and that gem should be treasured and even expanded. And speaking of CTE, as I said, it is an essential element of Senate Bill 1000, the blueprint for Maryland's future. Many call that the Kerwin bill or Kerwin legislation. I know that MABE and PZAM and MSEA are studying the bills. Its counterpart in the House, their hearings and amendments. While the bill and its recommendations, they're not perfect. They're steps in the right direction. We must, as education leaders locally in Washington County, take our voices, work together to advocate for the best parts of Senate Bill 1000 so that our students obtain the top tier public education they deserve. Investment in public education from pre-K to 21, and yes, we actually have infants all the way up to 21-year-olds in our system. Investment in public education is an investment in our community. And I hope that our funding agents locally here in the county and at the state level, and those who've been quoted as saying Kerwin will destroy us, I hope they will remain open to discussing the proposed legislation, investigating how it can help our school system, and thoughtfully looking at that legislation and its pending amendments. And finally, I'm compelled to address an issue that is tarnishing our community. The Washington County Board of Education, you and the staff behind us in Human Resources, work tirelessly to recruit highly qualified candidates for every position in our school system. And it was demonstrated tonight by our national board teachers, by our CTE folks, by our honorees for ESP of the year. Highly qualified for every position. I commend the staff and this board for its efforts to recruit high-quality, diverse candidates. To those in our community who have been pretty darkly and in a dirty manner questioning what we do in our system. For those who believe that hiring diverse candidates, which is a broad category, for those who believe that's equal to hiring unqualified candidates, you are wrong. Not you, but those people saying that. Our educators are committed to our schools and our community. And I'm hopeful that our workforce will diversify as our community continues to diversify. Thank you to the board, and thank you to the board, the staff that is committed to hiring highly qualified, diverse staff for every position. Thank you for the opportunity to address you this evening.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Becker. At this time, we can have board member response to public comment, if there's any. Anyone care to respond?
I would just like to commend Neil on exactly 5 minutes. You got it down.
Okay, we have no old business to conduct this evening, so we'll move right on to new business. Our first item of new business is this evening's consent agenda. Mr. Bakewell.
Good evening, President Williams, members of the board, Dr. Michael. Tonight, I have 6 items for your review. These items were reviewed by a purchasing review committee and are being recommended for approval, and staff is available if you have any additional questions.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
To approve the awards, renewals, and procurements for landscaping materials to the Mulchman LLC at the unit prices listed. Unit price contract for plumbing services to Fritinger Ritchie, Inc., RH Lap, Mix Plumbing, and Beaver Mechanical at the unit prices listed. Aperture Cloud Security Software renewal to Skyline Technology Solutions at a cost of $73,200. A tracked skid loader to Smith's Implements, Inc. at a cost of $84,657.29. Wood floor refinishing, replacement, repairs, and relining to Master Care Flooring, Inc. at a cost of $141,618.15. And technology work order system renewal to Solar Winds, Inc. at a cost of $66,481.22.
Mr. Bickford, is there a second? Second. Thank you, Mrs. Murray. Any questions for Mr. Bakewell or any discussion? Mrs. Fisher.
Item number 4. Why are there no bids?
So that is a Sourcewell contract. That's a national contract that we utilize to make that purchase. So we reached out to Sourcewell is one national contract. U.S. Communities, which is now called Omni Partners, is another. We got pricing from another vendor utilizing that contract, and the Sourcewell contract with John Deere was our best price.
Thank you for your explanation.
Sure.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing no other questions, we'll move to the vote. The vote is on Mr. Bickford's motion for approval of this evening's consent agenda as presented. All those in favor? Okay, we have 7 affirmative votes, and the student member concurs. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Bakewell. Our next item of business is consideration of administration services for the medical stop loss and vision and prescription drug benefit.
So I'm joined by Ms. Tricia Riley, who's our Supervisor of Employee Benefits, Mr. David Brandenburg, Executive Director of Finance, and Ms. Sherry Hirschman, who is from Gallagher Benefit Consulting. We are seeking approval for the medical prescription drug, vision, and stop-loss program administration. In 2015, the board approved the original contract for these services, which expires in June of 2020. New RFPs were issued in December of 2019. Those would go into effect in July of 2020. The RFPs were evaluated by a subcommittee of made up of the Healthcare Committee members. They reviewed and assessed the responses that we received from vendors. Gallagher Benefits Consulting provided assistance to staff and to the subcommittee throughout the process on the evaluations, and the motions before you are the committee's recommendations. And we'd be happy to answer any additional questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Bagdell. Is there a motion?
Madam President, do you want these all three motions at once?
I'm seeing it as one motion here, 3 parts, but we can do them separately if you would like.
But I can do them all together.
Okay,
I'll do them all together.
okay.
I move to approve the award for medical and prescription drug programs to Cigna for a 3-year contract period with the option of 1 additional 2-year period. The administration fees for this service is $26.88 per member per month for active non-Medicare retirees and $15.03 for Medicare retirees. Annual estimated cost of $1,060,596. Part 2 of the motion to approve the award for vision program administration to IMED for a 3-year contract period with the option of 1 additional 2-year period. The administration fee is 41 cents per member per month with an annual administrative cost of $277,778. And the third part is to approve the award for $400,000 specific stop-loss administration to Cigna for a 1-year contract period at the cost of $23.56 per member per month. The estimated cost for FY21 is $713,020.
Thank you, Mr. Bickford. Is there a second to Mr. Bickford's motion?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Gessford. Do we have any questions for our panel here? Any discussion?
Could you just for public purposes, could you explain how the stop-loss works?
So the stop loss that you have in place is for each individual employee or family member across the board has an individual stop loss level of $400,000. So the school system's on the liability for up to $400,000 for that one person. After that, the stop loss insurance kicks in and it is forgiven. So it goes to the stop loss insurance and everything's covered after the $400,000.
Got it, thank you.
Anyone else? If not, then we'll move to the vote. All those in favor of Mr. Bickford's motion to approve? Okay, we have 7 affirmative votes and the student member concurs. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Okay, we have consideration of the second quarter FY 2020 budget adjustments. Mr. Brandenburg.
Good evening, President Williams, members of the board, and Dr. Michael. From time to time, quarterly, we do reforecast and look at the individual lines of the budget and talk to directors of programs and about making reallocations, redeployments. So some of these things on the list before you tonight are redeployments. Some are recognized savings that we've achieved or estimate that we will achieve, and some are places where we need to add some more to the budget. The adjustments were reviewed with the Finance Committee on January 28th, and they voted to move them forward for here. And if you have any questions, I'd be glad to take those at this time.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
To approve the proposed FY 2020 second quarter budget adjustments as presented.
Thank you, Ms. Murray. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Bickford. Any discussion? Okay, then we'll move to the vote to approve the proposed fiscal year 2020 for second quarter budget adjustments. All those in favor? Okay, we have 7 affirmative votes, and the student member concurs. Thank you, Mr. Brandenburg.
Thank you very much.
Our next item of business is a memorandum of understanding between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Teachers Association. Dr. Michael, Mrs. Baker from Human Resources, and Mr. Neil Becker.
Board members, tonight we're here to officially seek your approval of a new stipend for speech pathologists. These are specialized teachers, obviously, that work with their students, and they've always had a stipend position, and we've made some changes to that, and we're seeking your approval on a memorandum of understanding for that.
Is there a motion?
Madam President, I move to approve the memorandum of understanding regarding speech-language pathologist specialized teaching assignment stipend between the Washington County Board of Education and the Washington County Teachers Association.
Thank you, Mr. Stauffer. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Fisher. Is there any discussion? Dr. Michael, would you like to speak to this?
In short, currently, the speech pathologists receive a $5,000 stipend like many other positions we have in the school system. We've had a great shortage of speech pathologists. It's not only a county issue, state issue, but national issue. So we're trying to work on a recruit and retain effort to recruit more and retain more of our speech pathologists with this new stipend.
Any questions, any discussion? Okay, then we'll move to the vote. We're voting to approve the MOU regarding speech-language pathologists. All those in favor? Okay, we have 7 affirmative votes, and the student member concurs. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll go back to Dr. Michael for the remainder of his superintendent's report.
Okay, tonight we want to bring updates to the board regarding our elementary math program. Particularly, we're going to highlight some interventions we're working on, but elementary math in general. To begin with, we'd like to share a video with the board, much like we did last month. We shared a reading intervention video, how we were using a Striving Intervention grant from the state as part of the Blueprint money from last year. We're also using, while we're using 10 positions for reading, we're using 10 positions, these are IA positions for mathematics. And with that, I'd like to ask staff to go ahead and roll our video. I'll give you a little introduction to an overall topic, but just one of many topics for elementary mathematics, and invite Ms. Seiler and her team forward while the videos play.
I'm Shannon Hess, and I am a math intervention tutor at Washington County Public Schools. Every day, whenever they come to me, we start with a learning objective, and we introduce that, and I would say we spend the first 10 minutes of our 25 minutes together each day working on that objective and teaching the new skill. And it definitely follows an I do, we do, you do model, in the sense that they're able to listen to me and instruct, but then they're also able to share with their peers their ideas and see the different approaches. And they're able to bounce ideas off of one another and help teach one another too. And then finally, they do the independent piece where they work on their own so that I can see that they're able to understand what I am saying and using their workspace books to document their learning.
My name is Carly Robeson. I am a 2nd grader in Potomac Heights Elementary. Today in Miss Heston's class, we had to add up three digits. It had like 9 plus 1 plus 3, and I could add the 9 and the 1, and it would give me 10, so 10 plus 3 would equal 13.
The Do the Math program is a very hands-on program. It gives the students different opportunities to see math in different ways, whatever works for them and is easiest for them.
We can play puzzles with adding.
It teaches them how to compose and decompose numbers and really see numbers in different ways and using those different strategies.
I am Megan Jay. I teach 2nd grade at Potomac Heights. I've definitely seen an improvement in their math fluency with basic facts, which is really the foundation in mathematics to build on the higher level concepts that we teach in 2nd grade.
In my travels around the building, I have the opportunity to see Shannon working one-on-one with the kids to really hone some of those specific number sense and numeracy skills. But the big piece and the cool transfer is when I get to come into Megan's room and see how they've taken that knowledge in that small group setting and are able to apply it to the grade level work that's going on in the classroom. So it's been really, like I said, a blessing to see that collaboration that leads to the student learning.
I've seen so much confidence built in them with this program. just using reasoning and asking themselves, is this reasonable, and why does that make sense or why doesn't that make sense? So I've seen growth both emotionally and academically with these students and just coming with me every day.
I think I'm good at math because I actually think it's really fun.
I think that it's an amazing opportunity for all these students to have this intervention. I'm seeing so much growth at the schools that I'm working at, and I know all around the county, all of the paras who are doing this job are really loving it and seeing growth as well.
Early intervention is the key to success for a child's education. I know from such an early age, if we can close those gaps and really give those kids that strong foundation at such an early age, we're only going to continue to see success and growth as they continue to grow the ladder. So the fact that these early interventions are happening, we're hoping that we are able to close those gaps and really help the kids become much more successful at an early age.
It's amazing!
Good evening, members of the board. Thank you so much for the opportunity to have us here this evening to talk about the wonderful things happening in elementary mathematics. I wanted to take this opportunity. We have a new team dedicated to elementary mathematics this year, so I wanted to take the opportunity to bring the whole team together to allow you to put faces with names. I'm Amy Seiler, Math and Science Supervisor.
I'm Melissa Hunsberry, District Math Achievements Coordinator.
Hi, I'm Marianne Nussier, Elementary Math Content Specialist.
Good evening, Angela Waltrip, Elementary Math Content Specialist.
So our team works collaboratively together to ensure that we're providing essential curriculum, assessments, instructional supports, professional development, so many other things that support the learners in elementary mathematics. And specifically, Marianne and Angie are supporting, in the graphic here you have, are directly working and driving their work around Tier 1, excellent initial instruction for every child in the classroom. They also work with what's labeled there as Tier 2A, on scaffolds and strategies for universal design for learning, which all classroom teachers utilize daily in their classrooms. And then for students who do need additional targeted or even customized instruction to meet them where they are, I'm excited that we have Melissa leading that charge this year as in specifically improving the implementation and use of mathematics interventions. We're excited that she's able to focus in that area, supporting students with those more significant gaps, as Kathy mentioned in the video. We do believe it's imperative that we are preventing and closing those gaps at an early age. So this evening, you'll hear the team share just a little snippet about what we're doing for that excellent initial instruction for all learners in Tier 1, as well as what we are doing to help prevent and close gaps specifically in early numeracy in our primary grades. Melissa will speak a little bit to that. So our goal in elementary mathematics that we're driving toward is really to ensure that every child has access and is ready to learn at grade level when they enter grade 3. That it has a huge impact and implications for students' later learning and understanding of higher level mathematics to have that early foundation. So with that, we'll speak to Tier 1.
Yes. So all students in Washington County Public Schools receive 90 minutes of daily math instruction. Within the 90-minute math block, students begin with a number sense or a fluency routine. Students engage in making meaning of math concepts by using manipulatives, drawing representations, and using number and words to communicate their understanding. Students are working hard to solve problems. Sometimes they're solving them independently. Many times you'll see them solving word problems with partners. Students have numerous opportunities to share and compare their strategies, look for similarities and differences, followed by revising and modifying their work. Teachers use Stage 2 of the WCPS Essential Curriculum to formatively assess students, to plan for small group instruction, as well as determine next instructional steps. And just like we saw in the video, we want all students to leave elementary school with a positive math identity, dispositions, and skills necessary for their success in their secondary math experience.
And it's because we want all students to be like the students in the video and have that positive math experience that we've collectively created the goal that all students be ready to learn mathematics at grade level when entering grade 3. And we are very excited to provide targeted and supplemental instruction for grades 1 and 2 students, demonstrating gaps in early numeracy. Through differentiated content based on students' needs, we are meeting students where they are with 3 strands. The first is Number Core, which uses benchmark numbers and flexibility, gives students flexibility with composing and decomposing numbers. Addition to 100, which builds on the big idea of 10 as an organizer of our number system. And Subtraction to 100, which helps students see relationships between operations. All 3 strands help students build a solid mathematical understanding and strengthen their math vocabulary. We are very excited for the opportunity to have 10 math tutor paraprofessionals who each have their own math story that makes them very passionate about math and working with students. They are in 18 elementary schools and are expanding to 6 more. They work with small groups of 2 to 6 students for 15 to 25 minutes daily or every other day to create a more personalized learning experience. They use the resource Do the Math, which is a research-based program created by Marilyn Burns. This program, just like as in Tier 1 instruction, and as we've seen in the video, helps students build confidence in math, gives them that deep conceptual understanding, helps them make sense and use reasoning skills all through manipulatives, models, and sharing with peers.
So that was just a brief overview of things that we're working toward as a new team this year. We're excited about the work. We recognize that we still have much work to do and continue to do, but we believe that we're well positioned to make that next big leap in elementary mathematics moving forward. So we do thank you for your support in that. And with that, do you have any questions for the team?
I'd like to ask, your intervention parapros, you say they go to different schools. How many schools would you go to in a day?
So depending on the need of the school and the size of the school, they may be stationed at one school or may visit 2 schools. We have 1 parapro who visits three buildings. It's split between 3 buildings. And so on some days, they're in 2 buildings.
In any given day, they wouldn't be in any more than 2 buildings in a day.
I have a question. So your parapros, are they going in during that 90-minute block, or do they go in to provide intervention for your students in another subject or content area?
They do not take out of any core content areas. So if they do go in the 90-minute block, it's during the time when students have independent work time, and they also take out of non-content areas.
So non-content areas would be?
There are some schools that have like power blocks.
Encore?
Encore.
So they would be missing
A small
music,
portion.
art, something like that. So how many minutes of an intervention would a child routinely experience?
Depending on the buildings and the amount of students, anywhere between 15 and 25 minutes.
Thank you. Anyone else have a question? No? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
for the work you're doing.
I think we're blessed to be surrounded with a great team in all of our content areas, including our Encore staff and supervisors. I think we're trying to be very, very purposeful about the budget and how we implement and use the resources we have in the budget and specifically target the needs of our children, from those that might be striving or struggling to those that are the most gifted. And I think the board and the team has really put together a good plan to help address the needs of our children. That's all I have for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Michael. We'll move on then to personnel action. Dr. Bishop here.
Imagine you.
Good evening, Mrs. Williams, Dr. Michael, and board members. As discussed earlier in closed session, there are several staff changes for your review tonight. So at this time, I ask your approval of our personnel actions.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Madam President, I move to approve the personnel actions recently discussed in closed session.
Thank you, Mr. Rodner. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Stauffer. Is there any discussion, any questions for Dr. Bishop? I almost called you Dr. Michael.
Don't do that to
No.
Dr. Bishop, please.
No? Okay, we'll move to the vote. All those in favor of approving the personnel actions today? Okay, we have 7 unanimous votes. Motion carries. Thank you, Dr. Bishop.
Thank you.
Okay, reports to the board. Begin with board member committee reports. Would you like to begin, Mr. Ridenour?
Yes, ma'am. The HR committee will not meet this month. We're going to meet the last Tuesday of April at, I believe it's 9:15, to discuss personnel actions that the personnel moves that we've been working on so much in the last few months.
Thank you. Mrs. Fisher, policy?
Excuse me, Policy Committee met on February 6th. We continued our work on policy ACA, which is the equity policy. We will be meeting tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m., and we will continue ACA, and we're hoping we can finalize it.
Thank you, Mrs. Fisher. Mr. Guessford, facilities?
Nothing for facilities.
Thank you. Mr. Bickford, finance?
Finance Committee will meet March 31st, it's Tuesday at 8 a.m. in the operations room.
Thank you, Mr. Bickford. Curriculum instruction, Mrs. Murray?
Yes, we will meet next Tuesday at 4 p.m. in the board conference room.
Mr. Mackley, anything from SGA?
County student government hasn't met since our last board meeting. However, as part of the campaign process for the next student member of the board, you all will be receiving candidate materials here in the next week or so with candidate campaign videos and biographies, so be on the lookout for that.
Thank you, Mr. Mackley.
Yep.
Okay, miscellaneous business. We have consideration of future agenda items. We should have a list of future agenda items. Coming up, a visit from the representatives from the Budget Advocacy and Review Committee. They'll be making recommendations relative to our draft general fund budget for fiscal year 2021. We have coming up on March 3rd a legislative briefing. Mrs. Cade will be here. We also have a presentation, an update on the kindergarten readiness assessment scheduled for March 3rd, and a presentation regarding the cohort graduation rate and dropout rate. There'll be a legislative briefing again, April 21st. That will be at the end of session. Session ends what, the 9th, something like that?
Well, I see it, they're getting in their packets, the reports that I do give, so
Okay.
I don't know that I should have to give them.
Okay.
I was jokingly accused of doing an impersonation last time, so
Okay. Okay, so we'll leave it there. If any of my colleagues have suggestions for future agenda items, please let me know, or let one of the members of the Agenda Planning Committee know, and we'll get that concern or request on a future agenda. So we'll move on then to board member comments. Mr. Mackley, would you like to begin?
I have nothing this evening.
Mrs. Murray?
I have nothing this evening.
Nothing, Mr. Bickford? Mr. Stauffer?
just want to say congratulations to all the ESP finalists that were here tonight, and Mrs. Lyon, especially for being the ultimate winner.
Thank you. Mr. Guessford?
I'd just like to say also congratulations to all the recipients, and especially Mrs. Lyons, the winner. But the overall, I think the whole evening for ESP was just a really good evening. So congratulations to all those who put that together. Also, I'd just like to mention, as I was never a band person, but I always said band is a community function, and it never ends. Last night, there was a memorial type of service for one of our longtime band directors here in Washington County, for Brad Smith, who was a band director at South High. And the community just rallied around that whole event. I'm not sure all the people that were involved in putting that together. Scott Bitfer was probably, I guess, the band director now. Scott was there and directed that. They did the South High fight song. And just to look into the videos, the community that was that came in of all ages and participated in that, flags, rifles, pom-poms, all the band members, and there was a lot of age in that room last night, and they were so proud of that, and you just have to take your hat off to the band communities because they never end. They just support each other, no matter if it's South High, North, Smithsburg, all the bands. They rally around each other for these type of events, and congratulations on that. On this very sad note of Brad's passing.
I have nothing.
Thank you.
Nothing? Dr. Michael, would you like the final word? You have nothing? Okay. And Ms. Dan. Yeah, I need my little paper back.
I was taking